The meeting hall of Willow Creek buzzed with voices that carried the sharp edge of judgment. Folding chairs scraped against the floor as townsfolk packed the room, their faces lit by yellow fluorescent light. The air smelled faintly of dust, coffee, and tension. On the wooden platform at the front, the mayor's gavel pounded against the desk. "Order," Mayor Gleason barked. "We'll hear everyone in turn." At the heart of the storm stood Ethan Cole, a quiet mechanic with grease-stained hands and an air of someone who would rather fade into the background. His posture was stiff, eyes lowered as if the weight of the entire town bore down on him. He wasn't a man anyone expected to make waves, except that his very presence in the meeting had become the subject of whispers. And seated across from him, dressed in an elegant burgundy dress and pearls, was Rebecca Harris, the widow of a wealthy businessman and one of the most influential voices in Willow Creek. Rebecca's smile was poised, but her eyes were sharp and merciless. The town adored her charm, admired her status, and leaned into every word. The scandal had started 2 weeks ago, when rumors spread that Ethan had been seen late at night near Rebecca's property, at a time when her reputation was already fraying from whispers about affairs and debts. What no one knew was that Ethan had been the one who kept her secret hidden, shielding her from disgrace when she was found drunk and stumbling outside the town diner, saving her from a police report that would have ruined her carefully maintained image. But Rebecca never thanked him. Instead, she turned the tables. And tonight, she intended to bury him once and for all. Rebecca rose gracefully, heels clicking on the wood as she faced the crowd. "Ladies and gentlemen," she began, her voice smooth and steady, "we need to address the danger that lurks among us. Willow Creek has always prided itself on being a community of trust, of integrity. But what happens when someone we thought we knew, someone we thought harmless, betrays that trust?" Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Ethan's head remained bowed, fists clenched at his sides. Rebecca's hand gestured toward him with theatrical disdain. "This man," she said, "has stalked me. He's harassed me. He's threatened the safety of a woman alone in her home. Ask yourselves, what business does a mechanic have sneaking around my property at midnight? What good intention could justify that?" Gasps filled the hall. Someone hissed, "Disgusting." Another muttered, "I always knew he was strange." Ethan finally lifted his eyes. His voice came out low but steady. "That's not the truth." Rebecca tilted her head, lips curling into a pitying smile. "Oh, Ethan, of course you'd deny it. That's what men like you do. But the truth is plain as day. I've been humiliated, harassed, and made to feel unsafe, and I won't stand for it." Her words carried the rhythm of a practiced speech. She had the room in her palm. People nodded. Some glared at Ethan as though he were already guilty. The mayor cleared his throat. "Ethan, do you have anything to say in your defense?" All eyes turned to him. For a moment, silence pressed so heavily that it seemed even the lights buzzed quieter. Ethan swallowed hard. "I wasn't on her property to harm her. He stopped himself. His jaw tightened. The words felt lodged in his throat. He could reveal the truth, what he saw, what he did, but doing so would mean dragging Rebecca's shame into daylight. He had promised himself he wouldn't. Rebecca smirked knowingly, seizing the hesitation as weakness. "See? He can't even explain it." She turned to the crowd, her voice sharp with righteous indignation. "That's because there is no good explanation. And men like him, they don't stop until someone puts an end to it." A woman from the back shouted, "Lock him up!" Applause followed, scattered but growing. Ethan's face burned. He wanted to walk out, but his feet felt cemented. He had saved her once, silently, when she had stumbled drunkenly through town. He had carried her to safety, shielded her from the prying eyes of police officers and gossip mongers. He had thought she'd be grateful. Instead, she twisted his mercy into a weapon. The mayor tapped the gavel again. "Enough. We'll review the complaint formally, but until then, Rebecca interrupted, her voice rising above his. "The women of this town deserve to feel safe. We deserve to know that predators won't be excused just because they hide behind grease-stained coveralls and quiet smiles. Enough is enough. The crowd erupted, clapping, jeering, shouting Ethan's name like a curse. He lowered his head again, but behind his stillness, something flickered. A decision. The days that followed only deepened the wound. Townsfolk avoided Ethan's garage. His customers dwindled. Children whispered when he passed on the sidewalk. Even his closest friend, the sheriff's deputy, urged him to lay low until it blows over. But Ethan knew one thing. It wouldn't blow over. Rebecca wouldn't let it. Her need for power, for control, was like a hunger that never stopped. She had humiliated him publicly, branded him a predator. And then came the twist of fate. A manila envelope slid under Ethan's garage door one night. No name, no note, just a set of glossy photographs. At first, he frowned in confusion. But as he flipped through them, his pulse quickened. The photos showed Rebecca, not with him, but with a married councilman. The same night Ethan had carried her from the diner. The same dress. The same time. A hidden camera had caught what Ethan had chosen to hide. Her shame, her drunken collapse, and the compromising embrace of a man whose career would crumble if the truth came out. Ethan stared at the photos until dawn. Whoever had left them wanted him to use them, to fight back. But was he that kind of man? By the time the next town meeting arrived, Ethan knew the answer. The hall was packed again. The gossip had reached fever pitch. Rebecca's story now painted in bold colors across every coffee table and church pew. She was radiant in a sapphire dress, basking in the sympathy of the crowd. When Ethan stepped forward, the room went silent. He held the envelope in one hand, his voice calm but carrying. I didn't want to do this. I wanted to protect her, even when she lied about me, even when she humiliated me in front of you all, because the truth would have hurt her worse than anything she said about me. But since she's left me no choice, he spread the photographs across the mayor's desk. Gasps tore through the room. People craned their necks, whispers rising like a storm. Rebecca froze. Her mask cracked. She lunged forward, snatching at the pictures, but it was too late. The councilman in the photos buried his face in his hands. His wife sobbed. The mayor slammed the gavel, but the chaos only grew. You see, Ethan said softly, I wasn't prowling. I was helping her. I carried her home that night so no one else would see. I thought I was sparing her dignity, but she turned my silence into a weapon. Rebecca's face flushed crimson. Those are lies! He's faking this! But her voice wavered, and for the first time, the crowd didn't believe her. They turned away. Whispers became accusations. Support evaporated. The climax came swift and brutal. The councilman resigned on the spot. Rebecca screamed at the mayor, and the town that once adored her recoiled in disgust. But Ethan didn't smile. He didn't revel in her downfall. He simply gathered the photographs, tucked them back into the envelope, and walked out. The twist came weeks later. Rebecca left town in disgrace. Her wealth drained in lawsuits, her reputation shattered. But Ethan's life didn't return to normal. Customers came back, yes, but so did the whispers. Some said he planned the whole thing. Others said he enjoyed watching her fall. And Ethan? He carried the envelope in his drawer, unopened since that night. He had won, but it didn't feel like victory, because the truth, he realized, was this. By saving her once, and then by exposing her later, he had tied himself to Rebecca Harris forever. Her shame was his story now. And in Willow Creek, stories never died.